Hey, here to talk about something I've never heard anybody talk about, although I do make a lot of noise about it if you're participating in my 4-month upper register course or even just other lessons. It's the topic of embouchure, encompassing everything here, or embouchure surrounding the lips, and the lips and the lip tissue itself being different and having a different kind of a strength. So most, actually maybe 100% of people think the embouchure is everything and the lips. And I used to think that too, until several events happened that caused me to think differently. There, in my opinion, is a big difference in the muscle fiber and the tissue in the red part of your lips here than the thicker muscles that surround your lips and your corners. And I want to talk to you about the difference and why you might want to explore increasing the strength of your lips in addition to your embouchure. Now, they're not totally separate. In other words, if you're going to be working on the strength of your lips, your corners and your embouchure will come into play. If you're going to be working on lip flexibility, lip slurs, and glissandos, things like that, your lip strength will get affected, and it comes into play. So they are interrelated, of course. But for example, if you've ever had the feeling of playing for a long time, and you feel like your chops are kind of giving out on you, but you notice that you can still play, but it feels like your lips bottom out on the mouthpiece. They just kind of keep caving in. Part of that is, yes, the corners are getting fatigued here. They are getting fatigued. But the real reason that's happening is the muscle fiber here can no longer plump up and create that cushion that you need on the horn. Remember, if that cushion goes away, your range runs out, and so does your playing. In fact, that's the whole reason that we all have a maximum range, regardless of how high it is. Your high range actually quits when you're using the maximum amount of pressure, and you go that one step further and no more sound or note will come out. That's because you've stopped the vibration of your lips. And as a result, you have no more cushion left. You're like really jamming the mouthpiece on hard. Obviously, we want to have the strength in our lips, keep our lips puckered and plump when we're playing, not have them be all the way out to where the pressure is cutting off all the vibration. So how can you really tell the difference in lip strength? Well, I'm going to be posting another video I did quite a while ago. It's actually the second hardest technique of the 75 techniques in my course. Is the triple octave scale. The triple octave scale is actually done in one breath and has gone up and down in 3 octaves with no tonguing. What makes that so hard is you have to roll in your lips and your embouchure in real time, and you don't get the ability to cheat and re-attack and restart the tone with your tongue or with your breath. We all know if we go high and we take a breath or we tongue, that gives us a little bit of advantage to keep either going higher to make that higher note easier, right? But if you start low and only tongue one note and go all the way up, come all the way back down smooth and fluid, you have to have a lip strength to roll in your embouchure in real time. Rolling in your embouchure because you're actually contracting the space or the aperture to be able to speed up the air. That's one way that we get compression. So you have to be able to do that in real time. Yeah, your chops in your corners here may help out a little bit, but it's your lips doing the heavy lifting. And if you don't have that lip strength, you're not going to be able to get the most out of your playing and the smoothness and the ease of getting around the horn. So I'm going to be posting that video to further show the difference in lip strength and embouchure strength. Embouchure strength, as we all know, is when you're there's a lot of ways to demonstrate it, but basically when you're doing simple lip slurs. Okay, I felt, yeah, my lips are doing this, blah, 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 but I'm feeling most of the muscle contraction here. in the corners in the embouchure. And so as a result, if you're working on the old tried and true methods that you've heard from everywhere, on the forums, from past trumpet teachers, from current trumpet teachers, from your friends, from professionals that you may know or work with, the same stuff comes up all the time. Practice long tones, practice scales up an octave, try taking things up an octave, and lip slurs or lip flexibility exercises. Those are all great for building up your embouchure and your chops to a certain point. They won't really increase your range to your absolute potential. The reason why? Because it lacks that one awesome ingredient called momentum. And momentum combined with a plethora of techniques hitting you from all angles is what will really bring out the best in your playing and maximize your power and strength. So long tones, scales, practicing up an octave, and lip trills and lip slurs. You hear that all the time. In fact, go ask somebody right now, go to your local college or university and say you want to learn, you want to play higher, how can you do it? You're probably going to hear part of that or all of that and not much else. And that's only going to take you so far. It's not going to bring out your maximum and your best. So there are things that you can do to strengthen your lips. And there's a ton of things to do, but probably the most basic heavy lifting technique for pure lip strength is a simple free lip buzz. You got to be able to lip buzz. And now, here's the catch-22 about lip buzzing. If you, sorry about that. If you lip buzz too loudly or for too long of a time, you're going to really screw yourself up. So that's why a lot of people poo-poo lip buzzing, or they say, oh, don't lip buzz because it's not realistic to what we're doing on the trumpet. Lip buzzing is a tool, and it's one of the best tools to increase the lip strength. And you will find that if you do a little bit of lip buzzing and use that as to complement maybe your lip slurs, your lip trills, pedal tones, and other things that you're doing for the physical part of the horn, you're going to see better results and quicker results. That's just the way it is, because you're working on the one thing that most people don't work on, and that's actually this tissue here in the red part of your lip. Don't believe me? This is kind of gross, but go look at a cadaver. Go to your university medical school if they'll let you do it, or watch videos. You'll see that they can actually take the whole skin and your face comes off like a mask. It's actually really gross. But when you notice that the muscle fibers and the tissues here, pay careful attention. The tissue here is very feather-like, but this here is different. I would say almost kind of gristly-like. It's just a different kind of tissue. It's not the same tissue as the muscles that surround the lips. It just is what it is. It's science. It's anatomy. So back to lip buzzing. Now, but when you notice that the muscle fibers and the tissues here, pay careful attention. The tissue here is very feather-like, but this here is different. I would say almost kind of gristly-like. It's just a different kind of tissue. It's not the same tissue as the muscles that surround the lips. It just is what it is. It's science. It's anatomy. So back to lip buzzing. Now, there's a lot more stuff that you can do to increase the strength of your lips. Also, just a caveat that building lip strength is not really a do-it-yourselfer. People tend to find themselves in more trouble and playing worse if they don't have the help of someone who actually has been there and done it and over and over and knows what they're doing. The simple reason is because it's kind of a stealth technique, and so you can do it and feel great, and after a couple of days you just shot yourself in the foot. You feel like you can't play, you can't get a buzz out. Chances are you were probably lip buzzing in the car, or lip buzzing doing something, you weren't paying attention to the time, or you're buzzing way too loud. Some people have this logic. There is a logic to it. If I can buzz loud and buzz high, that's just going to make me that much better of a player, right? Wrong. If you buzz too loud and too long, you're just going to actually screw yourself up. You're going to numb all this in here and make it too stiff, and it's just not going to vibrate. As a result, your range is going to drop down lower. So, getting back into lip buzzing, you can do a couple different things. You can do scales and arpeggios, target different notes. I have a whole system that I use for lip buzzing in the upper register program, in the brass upper register program. And by the way, this is for all brass players. If you have to buzz your lips into a mouthpiece, regardless of what instrument that you play, this technique is viable for you. And the thing is, it's not just about going up, it's also about going down low. So, if I were to start on a concert B flat, buzz my lips, I would hope to be able to get down several octaves, nice and relaxed. That was actually a triple pedal C lip buzz. And when you get down there, I don't call it a true lip buzz, because if you notice what's happening is you have a lip buzz combo lip flap or lip flutter. But still, if you can make that triple pedal C or triple pedal B flat come out like that, that would be an octave higher on the double. You have to have some degree of flexibility to be able to do that. Another one would be to do what singers do. You know, when you hear singers go, ah, and they go down low, you can kind of do that on your lips. You hear that? Just kind of wean all the way down to pedal C, double pedal C, and then all the way down to triple pedal C. You have to have some degree of lip flexibility and lip sensitivity in this part, not just talking about here. We're not really working anything here. This is now all about the lips. This could be nice and pliable and flexible and strong. If your lips are screwed and they're too tight, they're too brittle, you're not going to be able to do what I just did. So you might want to try that. And by the way, that's a culmination of a lot of years of working on lip buzzing. And so you might, if you find yourself not being able to do that, you can get with somebody, or you can get with me. I tend to do a lot of lip buzzing techniques that will allow you to really maximize your potential. So you got to be able to go down, you got to be able to go up. I'm not playing this loudly or buzzing loudly. Just an easy lip buzz. Let me see if I can get a little bit higher. Okay, got a little chunk of the double C there. So think about it. If you're causing your lips to vibrate that fast, there is some lip tension. It has to be there, right? Let me show you what happens when there's no lip tension, because I've noticed there's a lot of professionals out there also teaching. They're trying to say use no lip tension. Here's no lip tension, okay? Get it? So when you hear people saying no, don't use any lip tension, that's no lip tension. You have to have some degree of lip tension. What they probably really mean is don't use too much tension, and that's kind of ambiguous, right? So just so you know, when you hear people say, well, you know, you shouldn't have any lip tension at all when you're playing. It should be totally relaxed, totally effortless. No, because if you have no lip tension, it's this. There's no lip tension there. You're not going to get anything except for maybe some double pedal tones to come out. A little bit of tension. little bit more. Just a little bit. And then let's see if I can get the next one to come out. There we go. That was quite a lot of attention, or a lot of tension to get that note to compress out. That was a double C on my lips. So, I hope this little talk about lip strength and corners, and we know the corners again. I mean, most people know about the embouchure and the corners because, you know, that's all you've ever heard about. That's pretty much all corner strength for me. My lips are doing the little fish movement, wah, 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 when I'm doing it, but I'm not really engaging a lot of musculature and a lot of tension, a lot of contraction of my lips. It's really, they're kind of moving in and out like a little fish movement when I'm doing the lip trill, but it's this here is doing the heavy lifting. And you already know about that, right? Lip trills, lip slurs, glissandos. So the whole purpose of this informative little tutorial is to hopefully open up your eyes to the possibility that there is a different kind of strength happening here in your lips. A different kind of strength. And it requires a different approach. You have to tackle it a different way, and you have to think outside the box and do different techniques. So when you build this and the strength of this along with this, wow. I mean, wow. Wait till you experience the results and that newfound strength where you can just really grip the mouthpiece and everything feels awesome. You got the cushion there, you got the lip pucker, and it just won't go away. You got lots of strength. In fact, one thing that I've noticed, in fact, when you hear me, I have to be honest with you, I haven't even played my horn today. I haven't. So the one thing about developing your lip strength is you have the feeling that when you pick up the horn, you're already kind of half warmed up. So I haven't warmed up today, but I know that I can still get on the horn. Now, really, I haven't warmed up. Just what you saw me do here. I'm at the college here. Just thought I would make this video. That's with no warm-up. And I attribute that to a good portion of the lip strength here. Because if I didn't have the lip strength in the thickened fibers in the cushion, it would have been like when I was a lot younger in high school. I could have never done that because after the high C, I would have been smashing my lips right into my teeth. It would have cut off the tone, regardless of how strong this was. So, I'm Kurt Thompson. I hope I open your eyes up to some new possibilities, thinking outside the box. And also, this is scientific. Do your homework. Check into the anatomy and musculature of the face, all this. Check into it, and you'll see that, yes, this is different. The muscle tissue and fiber is different in this little part here compared to around here. Go check it out for yourself. It's actually science. And the more you think about it, the more logical it does come across to maybe try to work your lips in a different way than you just work the whole embouchure. So I'm going to post up that video too, the one that demonstrates the real-time roll-in and roll-out of your embouchure, and that really highlights and depicts the lip strength more so than the embouchure. Yeah, you have to have, you know, strong corners to be able to do the triple octave scale, and there's no getting around that. You can't do the triple octave scale if you don't have the lip strength. So I'll put that up, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about that. But when you see that, try to do it in the range that you have for 3 octaves. Do it exactly like I demonstrate, and you'll find that if your lip strength is lacking, although you might be able to hit the high notes, you won't be able to do the triple octave scale because you won't have the lip strength to do it. If you'd like to find out more about how to improve the physical part of your playing, improve your lip strength, if you'd like to learn 75 techniques, that's just totally going to wow you and give you that aha experience. It's not a magic overnight thing or miracle pill. It does take a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears, and some elbow grease, and some of your time, and some of your money. But if you're willing to think differently and try something new, like so many other people, the momentum aspect of these techniques that I work and live with daily is just almost hard to put into words. It really is. It's amazing. So, you know my site, trumpetsizzle.com. You know my name, Kurt Thompson. And by the way, it's just lovely to be out here in gorgeous Arizona. And I'll just do a little pan around here. Isn't it wonderful? It's about the first week of August. And I did see a little moon. There's a little moon popping out. I just had to stop by today because it wasn't that hot. I think it was only about 100 degrees when I got here. It's lovely out. And you know what? I think I should probably come out here, and I might come back out here and play a couple things just for shits and giggles, and put them online, because the acoustics out here is great. You kind of get inspired by the scenery. It's lovely out here, and it was lovely talking to you guys too, being out here in such a nice area, and I hope I made sense. Hit me up at trumpetsizzle.com, or I'm on Facebook too, or YouTube. I'll see you there. Bye-bye. If only I had had Pat Hessian's octavizer, I could have played the triple F. If anybody out there knows Pat Hessian, have him ring me up. I could have got that pesky triple F if I had that octavizer that he uses. Anyway, you got a close-up of the embouchure going from first to line E up to triple E and back. Happy New Year. Okay, many of you have asked about the Bud Brisbois mouthpiece method, so I'm going to describe how I started off. I started off with French horn mouthpieces. Now I'm just barely up to a tuba mouthpiece. When I started, I did about 30 seconds to a minute a day, a couple times a week. Now I do between 5 and 10 minutes a day, 1 minute at a time, and taking a break, then another minute, then taking a break. I do that maybe once or twice a week. So 10 minutes twice a week with only a minute at one time. You start off with a French horn mouthpiece. You need a small towel so you can wipe your mouth out so you can grip it. The teeth are shut, and you actually clamp the lips down on the mouthpiece and let it hang. Wipe your mouth out. French horn mouthpiece. And you let it hang over just like that, and you might want to have a clock handy so you can time yourself, like for 30 seconds or a minute. Once you can get up to about 10 minutes once a week, doing a minute at a time with the French horn mouthpiece, then you would want to move up to the trumpet mouthpiece. Same thing. Wipe the inside of your lips and bend over like this, teeth shut. Grip that and do eventually 10 sets for a minute each. After that, you will get up to the trombone mouthpiece. This is kind of where I'm at right now for the most part. Trombone mouthpiece is kind of heavy. Again, you want to build up to 10 minutes, 1 minute at a time. You wipe your mouth out. Teeth shut. And the hardest one that I just started, which I can't really do now, and this is a big mama, is the tuba mouthpiece, and I can only do it for a second or two, but I'm still working on it. Eventually I'll get it. This thing is very heavy. Wipe your mouth out good. I can only do it for a second or two on the tuba mouthpiece. So there you have it. Start off easy. Start off with a light French horn mouthpiece, then trumpet, then trombone, and then if you want to get crazy, throw in a tuba mouthpiece eventually. And as you see, tuba mouthpiece is very difficult. It's best to start off light, a minute a week or 2 minutes a week at the most, and then build up. And really screw your embouchure up if you try to do too much at one time in the beginning. Start off light, start off with less time, and gradually increase it. Never do more than 5 or 10 minutes a week. I would never do more than that. Never do it within a week of a performance. For example, if you have a Friday night performance, I wouldn't be doing any of these kind of exercises within 5 to 7 days before performance. You could really screw up your performance. This is a very potent exercise. It will make your embouchure tired. Take plenty of breaks and good luck. Keep on screaming. High range, upper register, and screaming on the trumpet. A few people can do it, most cannot. But most do have the ability to play high. They're just practicing the wrong things, or they're practicing too much of the right things. Listen to that again. They're practicing the wrong things, or they're practicing too much of the right things. There's a secret when it comes to mastering the trumpet and technique in the high register. Not only do you have to be able to play high, which is obvious, but you have to control it, be in tune, and be accurate. There are many different things you can do to increase your range, but it's about putting them together almost like a recipe and doing it just enough and not too much. That's some of the secrets for playing high. I'd be glad to talk to you in person about that. You can call me, you can send me an email, and we can go further. High range, upper register, try high lip trills and lip flexibility exercises. Try multiple tonguing techniques up in the upper register on scales. Double tongue, triple tongue, K-tongue, single tongue. So those are just some of the things that will help you to be able to play higher and play better and play more accurately. Hope to see you soon. Hi, I'm Kurt Thompson, trumpetsizzle.com. I wanted to give you a little bit of a direction when it comes to using the PETE, the P-E-T-E, Personal Embouchure Training Exerciser. And in this particular video, this is a free video, the advice that I have to give you is that the directions that you get with the PETE, regardless if it's a little plastic one like this, or you upgrade and you got the nickel silver, or you went way over and you splurged and you got the gold one. The directions give you two things to do, and I'm going to advise you not to do either of them, except for maybe a little bit of the second one. First, they give you a little variation on the old pencil trick. You know, you shut your teeth, you put this in between your lips, and you hold it. So this is too short, it doesn't have enough weight, and although you're going to be getting a little isometric contraction, and likely you're going to end up doing this isometric contraction too long, and what's going to happen is your lips are going to get stiff in here. It's good for the chops, yeah, good for that, but the lip tissue, which is a little different, if you ever look at a human body, especially like a cadaver, this tissue here in your lips is different than the feather-like muscles that surround. So this will be made stiff. You'll lose your flexibility, your tone will become airy, and you'll lose your accuracy by doing this. So ignore that when you get the PETE. Now, I have another thing that, at least in my program, that we substitute for that. But especially doing any kind of isometrical for minutes at a time, or until you fatigue out, is really, really bad for you. So anyway, that's that. Now the other thing they told you is
I guess shut your teeth and put it in between your lips with the big end, like the nail part of it. Shut your teeth and then put your lips over the big flat head and pull. Now that's not too bad. I actually kind of like that. So I would say go ahead and do that. Now the purpose of this video is to really give you a heads up on how you can really get the absolute best out of using the Pete. And I've spent quite a number of months, actually it's going into years now, and I've also had other students input on some really marvelous techniques that even I didn't think about. I mean, these are pretty interesting. So I want you to take a look at the description below, and there's going to be some links. One link is really cool. It's a link to my Facebook page for a brass improvement email series, and it's all free. So there's lots of free information there that will really help you. And I'm also going to include a link for the video tutorial that you can actually purchase for a nominal amount. And the tutorial will give you all the techniques, and I'll be demonstrating those techniques. You're going to be pretty amazed at some of the things that you can actually do with the Pete, and I'll prescribe exactly how you're supposed to do the Pete at that. So thanks for checking out this video here, and you didn't have to pay anything for it. There is some good advice if you just follow it, but the real meat and potatoes of the Pete and all the cool techniques that you can do with it that don't come in the directions that you got will be in my video tutorial. Just look down at the description and look for little hyperlinks, and you'll be able to figure it out. And my best for you with the Pete, one word before we do anything. When in doubt, less is more when it comes to Pete or any kind of isometric exercise that you can do. So if you're going to have to make an error or make a mistake, do it on the side of the minimum side, where less is actually more. So Kurt Thompson, TrumpetSizzle.com, TrumpetSizzle.com. See you there.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about the Roy Stevens-William Costello palming method. And we're not going to do the whole method. In fact, I don't even do it exactly like they do it. I've kind of tweaked it my own way. This is going to be the harmonic arpeggios, where you palm and you start on low C and work your way up. The Roy Stevens-William Costello is a method, but it also is an embouchure change, and we're going to be doing nothing about embouchure changes today. So if you've already downloaded some of their stuff, we're not changing embouchure. We're only using some of their techniques as a way to increase the flexibility in your chops and also your range. So today is going to be the harmonic arpeggios, and this particular tutorial will be instructing you how to do it. Now, for other instruments, I actually have had French horn players successfully do this, although it's a little bit weird, but they have to kind of hold it up with both hands. Trombone players, so far, have been able to do it, and I haven't had yet any euphonium players or tuba players. I don't even know if that would be possible. So I think right now it's safe to say that this works for trumpet, trombone, and French horn players, the way you're able to do it. So the main thing is you got your instrument, whether it be a French horn, trumpet, or trombone, and you're going to try to lay it in your palm and then put the horn up a little bit at an angle like this. So you got the mouthpiece on your chops just the way you normally would. Now notice my hand is kind of like a table or a plate. I'm not gripping anything like this. Your hand is actually stiff. It's like a shelf or a plate. You lay the instrument on top, if you can. Now with a French horn you might have to use two hands to do it, maybe even bone, I'm not sure. But basically the bottom line is you don't want to curl your fingers or do any kind of gripping. So you're only allowing just the natural weight of the horn to be the only pressure that you're going to be able to have when you're playing. So that's number one. Now, I want you to maintain your same embouchure setting. So I don't want you to have your lower jaw move forward. I don't want you to slide your mouthpiece down. I want you to keep the same embouchure setting that you've been using. But we're going to use this particular method as a tool only. So it's great for no pressure. This happens to be one of the ones that I'm actually not the best at. I actually did change my embouchure temporarily to the Stevens and followed the whole method and did it. Wasn't really my cup of tea. I didn't really get the best results out of it. However, I do get pretty decent results out of just using this particular method. This particular technique, rather. So let me just quickly explain how we're going to do this. We're going to start on the lowest harmonic open position note that you can get. So for trumpet players, that'll be low C. In open position, you can't go any lower unless you go into pedal tone range. For a trombone, that would be your first slide position note, and that would likely be, without going to your pedal tone range, I'm guessing